Saudi Arabia, Iran and Israel have all been turning up the heat recently, and Lebanon could find itself boiling. The country may be on the brink of conflict, and here's why. Alarm bells went off when Lebanon's Prime Minister Saad al-Hariri resigned unexpectedly during a trip to Riyadh. The announcement came shortly after Hariri met Saudi Arabia's Minister of State for Gulf Affairs, Thamir al-Sabhan. Now, constitutionally, Lebanon's government strikes a balance between the different sects in the country. The president needs to be a Maronite Christian, the prime minister a Sunni Muslim, and the speaker of parliament a Shia Muslim. And after 2 years of political deadlock between 2014 and 2016, a consensus was finally reached, with elections being held and a government being formed. The current government is split into two blocks: the pro-Assad March 8th Alliance, that's led by Hezbollah and supported by Tehran, and the anti-Assad March 14th Alliance, that's supported by Saudi Arabia. When Hariri resigned, he broke the political balance, swaying it away from its backers, Saudi Arabia, while pointing fingers at Iran-backed Hezbollah, criticizing Iranian meddling in Arab affairs, and claiming to be under threat of assassination. In response, the current Lebanese President General Michel Aoun refused to accept Hariri's resignation. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah also refused, claiming that Hariri's resignation was Saudi Arabia's decision. While Hariri has yet to return to Lebanon, as rumors of the PM being held captive in Saudi Arabia have spread across the region. Saudi Minister Thamir al-Sabhan intensified the rhetoric by stating that there is no room for a terrorist organization in Lebanon's government, accusing Iran of being the hotbed of terrorism in the region, and signaling that there will be no Sunni legitimacy for any government that includes Hezbollah ministers. Sabhan's words were a reflection of a wider game at play, between Iran and Saudi Arabia competing for regional influence. Iran appears to have the upper hand, winning in Iraq, Syria, Yemen and Lebanon in what has been described as the Shia Crescent. 2 weeks ago, Iranian President Rouhani had rattled some feathers when he spoke about this geopolitical advantage.
To Iraq, Syria, لبنان، شمال آفریقا، در منطقه خلیج فارس کجا هست که بدون ایران، بدون نظر ایران.
And so tensions in Lebanon are yet another boiling point in this cold war between Iran and Saudi Arabia. But this time there is another element in the equation: Israel. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's no secret that Saudi Arabia, its Arab allies and Israel have been agreeing on a lot lately. After Hariri's resignation, Israel's Channel 10 News ran what it claimed to be leaked diplomatic cables, displaying coordination between Riyadh and Tel Aviv to escalate tension against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Last Friday in London, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu stated that
there is something I wouldn't have expected in my lifetime, but we're working very hard to establish, and that is an effective alliance between Israel and the moderate Sunni states to counter the aggression of Iran, to roll it back as far as possible.
This statement comes after Netanyahu praised cooperation with Arab countries in September, saying, quote, "It is much larger than any other period in Israel's history." During the same month, Israel conducted its largest military exercise in 20 years along the Lebanese border. The exercise, dubbed Light of the Grain, simulated conflict with Hezbollah. And so the threat of a face-off between Tel Aviv and Hezbollah seems to be imminent, particularly as Israel also has a long history of intervention in Lebanon, with incursions occurring in 1978, 1982, 1993, 1996 and 2006. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has threatened to scrap the Iran nuclear deal and has increased its effort to target and sanction Hezbollah. President Trump himself has also been tweeting in favor of Mohammed bin Salman's shakeup in Saudi Arabia, further alluding that the US, Israel and Saudi Arabia are all on the same page when it comes to regional developments. Lebanon has been a site for civil conflicts and foreign interventions for much of its recent history. The latest moves by Israel, Iran, Saudi Arabia and the US could possibly see the country plunged again into a full-scale war. Alternatively, this behavior could all be a form of political flexing. But can there be so much smoke without any fire?